Hey guys. Okay, this is just a follow-up to my last video. I was thinking about it and I was realizing that video was a little long, and I have another approach to try to get you guys to understand how to solve that problem. It's not as good, I don't think, because it ignores the fact that you got some improper fractions there, but here it goes. All right, so same problem. Prodigy online math program. Problem number 18, it says fill in the missing fraction. The sum has been reduced. Remember, sum means add to lowest terms, and reduce your answer. So same problem, 8 over 6 plus something, this fraction equals 31 over 12. All right, so let's start like we did the last one. We're just gonna write the problem again. Okay, so I have 8, 6 plus something, another fraction, equals 31/12. So this time that we do this problem, we're gonna ignore the fact that these are improper fractions, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna realize that this is part 1, and this is part 2. Part 2 is unknown. But when you add them together, because it says add, it said sum up there, you should get this whole. Okay? So we're simply going to add this plus this to get that. Oh, we're supposed to be. So the other thing you could do to solve this is you subtract part 1 from the whole, and that should give you part 2. So we're just going to do it this way. 31 over 12 minus the whole minus the part that we have, 8 over 6. Now, when I try to subtract this out, I have to notice something that's glaring. And what's glaring about this is the denominators don't match. Okay, so I have to find the least common denominator. The first number, the 12 and 6 both go into. So the least common denominator for 12 and 6 is actually 12. Okay, that's the least common denominator, the first number that they both go into. Okay, now I have to do a little math here to get me from my old improper fractions to my new improper fractions. I have to rename, this is called. All right, so 6 times something makes this 12. And I know that's 2. So 8 times 2 should be 16. And then 12 times something makes this 12 here. So I know that's 1. So then 31 times this one is 31. Okay, so now what I have is I have the green light to actually subtract, because now I have matching denominators. I have a 12 here, and I have a 12 here. Okay? So now I have the green light to subtract. Before I didn't, because before I had a 12 and a 6, and they were not matching denominators. So I have to do a little math. 31 take away 16, or 16 rather, from 31 is, okay, I'm going to do a bottoms bigger, better borrow here. So this becomes a 2, this becomes an 11. 11 minus 6 is 5. 2 minus 1 is 1. And then I get 15 twelfths. Okay. So my answer, according to all this math, if I take this part from this whole, the answer should be 15 twelfths. That's part 2. Okay, so now I'm going to check it, because this is my answer, which we're saying is part 2. Okay, so I'm going to check it, just like I did the last problem. Okay, so I'm going to do A6, part 1, plus part 2, which I know is 15 twelfths, should equal up to 31 twelfths. Okay, so I'm going to add these two, and supposedly they'll give me that whole. So let me label this, finish labeling this. All right, let's do the math. Let's stack it over here. 8, 6 plus 15 twelfths. I'm adding this time. I'm not subtracting. Remember, I'm going back to the original problem. Now I have this answer. Okay, so I'm running across the same problem I was running to before, which is that my denominators don't match, and this is a problem. Okay, so I have to find the LCD again. So the least common denominator, the first number that 6 and 12 have in common is actually 12. Okay, so 12 is their least common denominator. Okay, that's the first number they have in common. And now I'm going to use blue here, change it up, and do the math in between. So 12 times what number makes this 12 here? So I know that's 1. So then 15 times 1 is 15. And then 6 times what number makes this 12? So I know that's 2. So 8 times 2 is 16. And now I can add 6 and 5. Well, let's just do the addition here. This is 11. This is 31. So my numerator is 31 and my denominator should be 12. Should match. And this checked out because this is my whole from the original problem right there. So here's another way to do it. It's a little less lengthy than the last one. It's just I took a different approach. I didn't get rid of this improper fraction and this improper fraction. I left them that way throughout to get the answer. So hopefully that helped. Let me know in the comments if it didn't or how you feel about it. All right. Thank you.